Vagabond, how nice to see you again. Come on in, have a seat by the fire. The vibrant summer sun is slowly turning paler, winds are getting chillier, and some of the leaves are starting to turn crisp. Nature is once again reminding us that fall is soon at our doorstep. For the team behind ATMOSFAR, this means that we've now returned from our summer break and are ramping up to our normal production speed once again. However enjoyable it might be to take some time off, we've got a game to release, and we look forward to it. While we're at it, we'd like to thank all of you for your patience and support. We know that you are looking forward to the early access release as much as we do, and that you've been waiting for it for a long time. Having your support means a whole lot to us, and we are doing everything we can to get ATMOSFAR to you as soon as possible. Until then, we'd like to advise you to keep an eye out on our Steam page or to join our Discord server for the latest updates on the game. In our last devlogs, we've been able to learn about different aspects of game development and how they are combined to form the unique experience that we call ATMOSFAR. Today, we're going to continue this series by learning about the processes behind a large but extremely central discipline, level design. To guide us through this topic, one of our level designers has graciously offered to lend a hand. The stage is yours. Level design is essentially designing and building the areas that the player will experience, the layout of the space, and then placing gameplay elements that go in it. For ATMOSFAR, this means designing the layout of the POIs, or points of interest, and entire islands. POIs differ in size. Sometimes it's simply a lighthouse or a crashed crate. For a bigger POI, the process often starts with research and development, which include gathering inspirational pictures and doing rough sketches of the layout. Sometimes we take a screenshot of the intended area and request a paint over from the art team as part of gathering inspiration. The next step would be to do a rough blockout. Earlier in production, we built the POIs with basic shapes to test out the layout and size with the player character to make sure that the space isn't too small or too large and that the metrics, such as slope angles, jump and jetpack distance, and vaulting height, are correct. In later production, we started using finished art assets from the start to do rough layouts. When we feel like the layout and size is good, we go in to add gameplay elements like resources and challenges. The final step would be to have the art team come in and add that final touch to give the area the right feeling. Throughout the steps, we would ideally playtest and iterate upon the space, a process that never really stops because you always find something you want to tweak. We also need to figure out what the player's goal should be at the specific location, keeping in mind what tool and puzzle mechanics they've learned, what faction the POI belongs to, and sometimes the history of the place. All these things can influence the design. We also need to plan how the challenge will increase, if the player learns a new mechanic, and what the tutorial for that will look like. These elements are often tweaked during production, and therefore so are the designs. Since ATMOSFAR is an open world game where the player has wasps and a jetpack, we can't really dictate where they will land and where they will approach a POI from, and therefore can't design from a linear perspective. Instead, we need to think of POIs as biomes. A biome has a certain flora and fauna. The player can find specific resources tied to that biome, and there may be unique dangers that they need to look out for. As an example, a pace POI biome would often be caked in concrete and pipes, where the player might run into hostile drones, but also solve puzzles and find a variety of scraps. We can still guide the player in certain ways or help them navigate. We work a lot with composition, framing, and landmarks. The player should be able to see something interesting that they might want to explore from certain points of an island or up in the sky, or arrive at a POI and quickly realize if they already explored it. If you play multiplayer, you should be able to describe an area to your friends to help them navigate. I'm eager and curious to see players experience and navigate the islands and the POIs for the first time. Seeing people running around in the areas we've built will be both exciting and scary, but most of it all, it will be valuable to me as a designer. I hope everyone who plays will have fun exploring, and I'm curious to see which areas will be the most popular camp spots. Yet another interesting breakdown from one of the team members here at the studio. Game development is essentially one giant collaboration across different disciplines and fields, and level design illustrates this very well. In this example, we get to see how our level designers must keep track of art direction, game design, challenges, storyline, lore, composition, and readability in order to successfully create an interesting and exciting POI. That's a lot of things to keep in mind at the same time. But there's still more to game development than the subjects we've gone over this far. Sometimes it can seem like it's never ending, but we will get to the end of it. Eventually. Anyways, for the next devlog you can expect a continuation of this series. Next time we will, however, move away from art slightly. The main topic of the next devlog will be about code, or programming, or software engineering, or development, or, well, you get it. A beloved child has many names, like one would say in Swedish. And speaking about code, maybe it's time to get back to work before something breaks. See you in the next devlog, and thank you for being here.